Congratulations! You have joined one of the most unique organisations in the world. Surf Life Saving Australia has more than 100 years' experience in protecting people's lives, and you should feel proud to be a qualified member of this association. Surf Life Saving in Australia came about through the efforts of people who defied the law. To explain, up to the start of this century, people had the idea that human form in bathing costume was indecent. Hence, the law stipulated that bathing was prohibited during daylight hours. Also, the sexes were segregated. The origins of surf lifesaving can be traced back to the actions of Mr. William Gosher at Manly Beach in September 1902. Similar actions by other people who defied the laws by bathing during the prohibited time forced the laws to be changed. Thus, the now very popular recreational and sporting pastime surfing began to grow into what is today part of the Australian way of life. As surf bathing grew rapidly in popularity, its dangers just as rapidly became apparent. Therefore, small groups of experienced and regular surfers who were concerned with the rising incidence of drowning in the surf began to form themselves into life-saving bodies to assist those who required to be rescued from an unfamiliar environment. As these clubs grew in size and numbers, there was a need for a united front to raise funds and to improve life-saving techniques. This resulted in the formation of the New South Wales Surf Bathing Association in 1907. This was later changed to Surf Life Saving Australia. Surf Life Saving in Queensland began on Coolangatta Beach on the 21st of February 1909. From these very humble beginnings of a fragmented voluntary surf rescue service, Surf Life Saving Australia now has achieved world recognition for outstanding courage and service of its members. In 1939, Surf Life Saving decided that all patrolling members should wear red and yellow corded caps. The red and yellow cap, an internationally recognised safety symbol, is worn by surf lifesavers so they are easily identified to the public, particularly when they are performing patrol duties in the water. The cap is also worn by lifesavers for their own safety, so they are easily identified by fellow lifesavers. The red and yellow caps are still proudly worn by more than 32,000 active surf lifesavers today. The red and yellow colours found their way into surf lifesaving clubs from the International Code of Naval Signals, in which the sign for man overboard is a square divided diagonally between red and yellow. Flags and signs have always been used to signify either safe or dangerous areas to swim, but it wasn't until the 1930s that the red and yellow colours came to represent surf lifesaving in Australia. In 1935, red and yellow replaced the blue and white flags which had been used in the 1920s to mark safe bathing areas. Although the colours were divided diagonally, unlike the horizontal red and yellow used today. At present in Australia, there are 305 clubs with over 113,000 members who protect the bathing public around the beautiful Australian coastline. In Queensland, there are 59 clubs with in excess of 32,000 members. Surf Life Saving Australia is a highly federated and geographically dispersed corporate body with several organisational layers incorporating 305 local surf lifesaving clubs and 7 state and territory centres. Under our Constitution, these state and territory centres are the owners of Surf Life Saving Australia. The peak policy and decision-making board for Surf Life Saving Australia is the SLSA Australian Council, made up of the National President, the 7 presidents of each state and the Northern Territory, the directors of SLSA's 3 operational areas, lifesaving, surf sports and development, and Surf Life Saving Australia's CEO. The state territory centres are combined into the Australian Council, which is responsible for the organisation in Australia and its relationships with similar organisations outside Australia. The President and the Directors are all volunteers. The Directors of Lifesaving, Surf Sports and Development are assisted by their own boards. The AC delegates the management of SLSA to the Board of Management, made up of the CEOs or General Managers of each state and the Northern Territory, the CEO of SLSA and 4 of his senior managers. By joining Surf Life Saving, an individual also joins a Surf Life Saving club, which in turn is affiliated with its state centre. Membership of Surf Life Saving provides access to comprehensive, nationally accredited surf lifesaving training, the option to compete in surf carnivals at local, branch, state, national and international levels, as well as the protection of our insurance and other policies. Clubs in the 2 largest lifesaving states, New South Wales and Queensland, affiliate with a local branch which is responsible for supervising and controlling patrols, gear, competitions and carnivals, along with determining local policy. These branches and the clubs in other state and territories affiliate with their respective state territory centres. Rescue support operations, that is rapid rescue and response teams, not linked to any one club, also operate in most states. SLSA is a foundation member of the International Lifesaving Federation, ILS, through which it maintains contacts with other lifesaving nations and develops lifesaving expertise around the globe as part of SLSA's broader international humanitarian efforts as a non-government organisation. Membership of the association and clubs is open to anybody, regardless of race, colour, religion or sex. On joining, a member aged 13 or 14 is required to gain their surf rescue certificate. Upon successfully completing the award, these members can become part of a patrol in a surveillance and assisting capacity under supervision. Members over 15 years of age are required to train for their bronze medallion, which is a basic requirement to become a surf lifesaver. From our earliest days, the association's motto has not changed: vigilance and service. Our association's objectives and aims are rather extensive, but deal primarily with surf safety and the public need to watch over and care for the people who use the ocean beaches. To this end, the records speak for themselves. A total of almost 500,000 lives have been saved. Public education is a major objective also, as the association is convinced that preventing a rescue has much greater value than effecting one. Physical fitness is another aspect of functional activities, and competition through a program of surf carnivals attends to this. A high level of physical fitness is required of all lifesavers, and this should be for 12 months of every year. Active club members must ensure that they maintain a standard of fitness to be able to perform the run, swim, run test as detailed in the bronze medallion. This is an absolute minimum. Queensland's coastline stretches 6,089 kilometres and there are some 714 accessible beaches along the coast. There are about 30 million visitations to our beaches each year, and despite significant advancements in technology, techniques and knowledge, fatalities and injuries are still occurring on our beaches. Surf lifesaving exists to save lives, develop practices in education, prevention, emergency care and rescue, and ultimately to meet our vision of zero preventable deaths and injuries on Queensland beaches, as we set the benchmark for aquatic safety. Surf Lifesaving Queensland is a vibrant, agile and competent organisation. Our people, safety services and management systems are very highly regarded both in Australia and around the world. Surf Lifesaving Queensland retains a strong commitment to pursuing continuous improvement across all areas to work towards achieving our vision.